Well, in this case, especially within, the last election with President Obama, get Jay-Z involved. Like, you know, the youth revolution has always started through the youth, never through, older people. It's always in the youth. And it's always tied to music. I mean, they did it in the 60s with Haight-Ashbury movement. They did it, they always tied revolution to music. And, the best thing Obama could have did was get Jay-Z on his side. I mean, that just sweeps up just an entire population of people. Because now we're dealing with a generation of people that went to school, whites and blacks graduated. My mom will go to her reunion, it's all black people. I go to my college high school reunion, it's half black, half white. And this is a new generation. And music kind of did that, like the MTV generation. So music kind of got us together like that, And so if you see Jay-Z on the screen, it's like Jay-Z, Clint Eastwood, Jay-Z, Clint Eastwood. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just a different generation. I think it has more to do with, they try to make the whole Obama, Mitt Romney, Obama against whoever, black and white thing. It's just a generational thing. It's just totally from being from a different generation. And, I think the two parties are separated because of that. You can tell by the conventions of the people that's at the conventions. The Democratic convention was a majority young people, Republican Party was a majority just older people. Whether it be black or white, it was just older people. And, it's a sign of the times. But a large part of the youth culture is controlled by hip hop. Social media, some things that the older generation don't even care about. They have no, Twitter and all of that. They don't even care about this stuff. But Obama understood, like, I have to care about it. Why? These are the leaders of tomorrow. So, and what are the leaders of tomorrow going to be listening to? Are they going to be listening to something from the 70s? Or are they going to be listening to Drake? This is the truth. This is what we're in, And this is very pivotal of how somebody, whether it be Obama or somebody from this camp, say, hey, man, this is what you got to do. I mean, Obama just recently took a picture with Jay and Beyonce. God, like, that's about 50,000 votes. But that's how it is, man. It's, that's how it goes. They don't invite, the presidents, they don't invite sports when they win a championship. They don't invite them to the White House for nothing, man. They don't do that for nothing. So why not hip hop? Man, one of the first political songs I ever heard, to be honest, was The Message. At the time, he didn't know it was a political song. That was one of the first ones. One of the second ones was when Public Enemy took Beastie Boys' Fight for Your Right to Party and changed it Party for Your Right to Fight. And just the whole, I think that just as a whole, it takes a nation of millions to hold us back. That just spoke volumes to me as a 13-year-old. I mean, the first track on the album is called Countdown to Armageddon. As a 13-year-old to read that, and Black Steel Hour, Chaos, and Night of Living Bassheads, I mean, they were really going there, And so that was at a perfect time where not only hip hop was being just bombarded by a political standpoint, it was also at a hint of Islam, because when King said peace, assalamu alaikum, that just threw everybody and everybody saying it too. Didn't know, they had Christian kids saying this. They didn't know what it meant. And just that whole, with the 5% Nation and just, learning more about black history than any teacher would teach you if they didn't teach you outside your class. At the same time, it was kind of crazy. So I think as a whole, the first one would be The Message, but as a whole, that had taken a nation of millions, just threw me on my ear, bro. It just messed me up. Man, that's a tough one. I think it's the voice of a sect of people. I think it's the other way around. Chuck D was telling you, looking out the window, telling you what was going on in the street to let the people know what was going on in the street. Now I think it's the other way around now, you know. I think it's been flipped. And I think the road that Chuck D took was a tough one. And it's a road that has lots of responsibility. Every artist is not built for that responsibility, because if you take that road and turn around and get caught in the club and get whatever, then, you know, you get looked at as, oh, I thought you was about the cause. And, you know, Chuck D, the road that Chuck D took, and even later on when Ice Cube left NWA and got with Bomb Squad and started walking around with FOI and just totally changed what he was talking about at the time. That's a tough road to follow. Tupac, that's a tough road to be a quote-unquote freedom fighter in hip-hop. And I just think a lot of artists, they don't want to go that road, because it's really, even if they can do it from a subliminal standpoint, because Outkast did it too. It was very subliminal. But, you know, I just think that just the road of not doing that, you know, a lot of them, they don't want the responsibility. And it's easier just to, you know, just to stay away from that, because there's so much that just comes with that, man. Ton of cats, man. Lines here and there. Joey Badass, TDE, Kendrick Lamar, and the Absol. Absol, really, it's like these kids are really saying something. You know what I mean? Like, who else? Crit, of course, who I think in a large part is the way he presents himself and the way he is and the music that he makes. He just has a sense of responsibility to him. And it seems like, to me, he's like one of the leaders of this new generation, if not the leader. There's a lot of cats, man, that's really out there that is doing it. And I think they're understanding that they don't have to be afraid to do it. Because at the time, kids are gonna do what they think is out in the forefront. And it was at the time, native tongues was in the forefront. And it was a part of youth culture, and it was very popular. Although native tongues are really trying to say something, you know, we all fell in love with it. And if that comes back to the forefront, then maybe again, you know. But there's some cats that's out there that's really doing their thing on a, not necessarily a political, but just talking about real life. Not necessarily like Say the Wells, just real life. Instead of talking about something that they really don't take part in, you know. I think that hip hop will always be a voice for the people. I think no matter what, you know, it always, because the way it starts, you know, hip hop is one of those art forms and one of those parts of genres of music that can just start with you in your room banging on the table, or you just writing rhymes, you know. And usually when a kid is in his room writing rhymes, he's writing on what he sees or what's around him for the most part. And then he takes it out and finds other kids in his community or even a social community. And I think it would always be just the way it started. No matter if it started in the Bronx in '73 in the park, or whether it started on just one YouTube page or just one Facebook page, it's always going to start with one person, and it's just going to grow like that. With that one person, it's going to do that. And it may get to the point where everybody on the mainstream starts to like it, but you have to always remember where it started. It always started from just a community base. We're going to get together, we're going to spit some rhymes, and it's always going to be like that.